Hello everyone, this is Flammy and welcome back to another episode of my subscriber base review series. Today we're doing Town Hall level 8. So we're going to have a bunch of Town Hall level 8 bases here for us to review, and if you're a Town Hall 8 or even a Town Hall 7, this is what you got to look forward to. So first off, we've got someone who's in my own clan, Reddit, and they applied through the application form that is available on my channel, and you can do so as well. So let's look at what's going on here. Well, it's alright. My biggest problem right off the bat is a lot of these defenses are under level. So, let's see, the Wizards are all level 1 it looks like. Yes, they are. The Mortars also are all pretty low level. So, 2s and 3s. This is not very good. The walls are a bit low. I don't have much of an issue with that. But having your defenses at low level means that you're going to have a lot of trouble holding off basically anything. Mass infantry, especially when your wizards and your mortars are low level, just because so many targets will overwhelm your other defenses. Doesn't matter that these ones are slightly higher at 6. You got to get all these up as well. So Stefan, I would definitely recommend upgrading and upgrading and upgrading, and not even thinking about going to Town Hall 9 until you have everything, if not maxed, very close to maxed, and that's going to take a long time. I can tell you from experience, because I upgraded a little fast on my first when I first going up, but by the time I got up here, I had to slow down and start upgrading stuff. Alright, beyond that, let's look at some of your layout stuff. So you have 6 storages in the center, plus the Barbarian King. This is an interesting decision. So what putting 6 storages right here in the center does is means you have no combat buildings that are actually centralized. This is also a problem because that means giants, for example, if the giants come from down here and attack this cannon, or this wizard tower, one of these two, what can actually shoot them? Well, this wizard can, this archer can, this mortar can. This mortar maybe can, and this archer tower maybe can. But what about all these things? Well, they're on the other side of the base, so they can't. But what else is important? There's nothing in the middle that can shoot them. And that's really important. You're going to want to have stuff in the middle that can shoot. So currently your best bet's going to be this level 3 mortar, because it's your highest level 1. So I would probably put that in the middle as well. Does mean your resources are going to be slightly more spread out, so there's that to consider. But it means you're less likely to get 3-starred if you centralize some defenses. Alright, beyond that, what else? I do like these segmentation walls, which are sort of dividing them up into like 4 segments. So you got one on the top right, one bottom left, and one top left. These outside archers out here are actually, I guess they're helpful, but there's one thing I would do definitely is include these spring traps out here. So if you put this spring trap right here and right here, giants going for this archer tower would detonate on it really easily. Same sort of thing you can do for this cannon and this cannon as well. You can even use some of these spare walls out here to force them around to make sure they step on those traps. So I would definitely consider doing that as well. As for the Barbarian King in the center, it's alright. It's good to keep it somewhat centralized, but I think a mortar is more useful in this case. Just something to keep in mind. Beyond that, the last thing I'm going to talk about is how many storages you have. So I, in general, would not recommend to Town Hall 6s, 7s, and 8s not getting a 3rd elixir storage until later. I would max out both of these at level 11. So as you can see, this is 10 and this is 9. You can store 4 million elixir or gold if you have 2 level 11s. And that means before you get your 3rd storage. I would recommend going that route instead. It means you have a lot less things to protect. Also, it's just easier to store a lot more, because like upgrading this to level 6, what does this get? This gets 50,000 resources. 50,000 is nothing by comparison to the amount that upgrading this one level can. This goes from 500,000 to 1 million if you upgrade it, and then it goes from 1 million to 2 million if you upgrade it again. That's a lot better of a return for one upgrade. So yeah, I would kick this and this out of the center probably. It's sort of hard with the gold because it is level 9. It does store a significant amount. But even if it's just like right here and the archer tower is promoted, I think that'd be a good improvement. Alright, there's some suggestions for you, Stefan. You can obviously let me know in clan chat what do you think about them. But yeah, spring traps, defenses in the center, and biggest one of all is still going to be upgrading those defenses. Don't forget about that part. Alright, let's head on to the next base. Alright, here we are with the Winter 115. Let's see, so you're really low in the trophy count. That's very interesting. I would suspect you're not finding very many good bases to raid this low, because lots of people will be too low to have any resources. but maybe. I haven't tried it recently, so I don't really know, but that's my guess. Okay, your defenses are much better upgraded than we previously saw, but they still got a ways to go. Let's see here. It looks like, in general, you could have had... So I basically had these defenses when I was in early Town Hall 7. So currently on my derpy base, which is Town Hall 7, I have level 8 archer towers, and these are all 7s and then 6s. These level 8 cannons, I currently have them myself. This level 10 cannon, you can't get until Town Hall 8, so I don't have that yet, but I've got, I think it's 9s or 8s, I can't remember which exactly. Mortar, this is a good leveled up mortar. I like to see these wizards centralized, and these are fairly well upgraded, but you definitely want to continue with these as well. You might be early here to Town Hall 8s, that's alright. You've got some of these defenses as sort of low levels. But keep working on getting these wizard towers up. Your walls, they could use some love as well, I would say. I'm going to say that you've certainly got spring traps here, 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 and here, and likely, oh, here and here as well. Okay. I didn't see those other two at first. So those are 6 really good spring traps, and I really like those. I would not want to attack into those with a giant army, because I just know that those spring traps with that proper funneling would just deal a ton of damage. So great job on that right there. I definitely appreciate that. So your walls, I'm going to go back to them for a second. You do have something interesting going on. You do have these level, was it 7? Yeah, 7 walls here. You've got them on the corners, so they're just around in the corners of your bases. I like that. That's good for soaking up wall breaker hits. And I certainly approve of that. Good to have your highest level walls where they'll be attacked most often, whether that's from wall breakers or giants or whatever. Put them where they get attacked. Beyond that, you are storing up your Dark Elixir pretty heavily, so I would guess that you don't yet have your Barbarian King from looks of it, so it looks like you're working on getting up to 10,000. And you're currently at 7,000, so best of luck doing that. Good move putting that inside while you're currently storing that up. If it was any less than about 2,000, I would say it's not worth protecting very much, but as you've got that much, 7,000, you can actually steal a significant amount at 7,000. A couple hundred, they can be stolen. Let's see for your other resources. Interesting that your gold mine is outside, although it's empty right now, so maybe that's just a temporary measure that you move both these outside. If so, I approve of that. Meanwhile, your elixir has more than double the amount of resources, so yeah, that's a good move. One good suggestion is just that. Just swap around your mines and your collectors when one has less than the other. So you just spend a ton of gold on upgrading this cannon, for example. Well, throw the storages outside because they don't have anything in them. Beyond that, let's see. You're doing a good job of upgrading a lot of things. Definitely get the lab up. It's a good thing to get very early on in Town Hall whenever you upgrade at Town Hall level. So there's that. Don't yet have P.E.K.K.A.s, that's alright. I don't really love dragons or P.E.K.K.A.s myself, but it's always fun to use them for the first time. So, yep, beyond that, the last thing I'm going to say is this. So you've got a couple mines that are level 11, these two right here, and then you've got a couple that are not quite. So this one is 9, this one is 9, this one is 9, and this one is 8? Yeah, 8. So, whenever you're upgrading mines and collectors, you're going to want to upgrade them from the lowest level one to the highest level one. So don't upgrade any more to 10 or 11 until you've upgraded this other one as well. So start with the lowest level ones and work your way up. Same goes for elixir collectors. Basically, you want to occupy your workers for as long as possible. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this base. Pretty good job, pretty good job. Keep up what you're doing and keep upgrading those defenses. I like your layout though. It works well. Okay, here we are with Wipeout 77 Ponage. So, he has already told me that he is a newly Town Hall 8, so he just got here. Although that's pretty obvious from looking at these walls, and you can tell, I mean, he's got a level 1 archer tower, a bunch of level 2 and 3 walls, and 4 walls around here. So, clearly he's new to this level. Let's see, how would I rate his defenses? So I'm actually very familiar with these level defenses because I just am getting up to the top levels of Town Hall 7 myself. So you also, once again, could have your defenses a higher level. So this is a fairly common mistake, and like I said before, I did it myself when it was my turn. So it's understandable, but you're going to want to upgrade your defenses to as high of a level possible before upgrading your Town Hall. To not do so just means that you have weakened defenses, and more of them, so they're more spread out, which doesn't really help anything. Having more does help, but nothing compared to having them super strong. It does make you're going slower, so do want to be aware of that, but I'd say it's definitely worth it. So you definitely have some good funneling, once again, just like our last base. So you've got, I can't tell if they're bombs or spring traps, because you got a lot of them, but you got traps here, here, probably. You could have 2 or 3 in here, I don't know for sure, and 1 in there. That's a good job. I like those traps. Those are a good job funneling. It means any units breaking into one side will go all the way around, and the splash damage buildings on the inside, mortars and wizards, will all be pew-pew-pewing away at units that are walking around the outside, so that's great. You also have a rather limited amount of storages on the inside, so you have 1 gold storage out here, and only 2 gold storages in here, and then level 6 and a level 11. I would probably recommend kicking this out and putting another defense in, or instead kicking it out and just tightening stuff up. I'd guess you have Teslas here and here. I do like the fact that you have your Clan Castle inside. Let's see how empty this is. So with only 970, I'd probably kick this Dark Elixir storage out temporarily and just upgrade something like, I don't know, maybe a wizard to a better spot and then tighten up the walls, or maybe add something like an archer tower into the middle. For now, I do approve of having the Clan Castle in, though. Air defenses in is good. Just having the air defenses in, they won't probably see that much action, but what they do is really deter healer armies, and more scarily, Mass Dragon, which is what you might be facing, considering you're pretty high in that trophy count. You are in Reddit Gold, the competitive Reddit clan, the top Reddit competitive clan, so good job in that, and so that is also why he is your Town Hall inside the walls, so good job with that stuff. Just keep upgrading your defenses. I do like the layout, though. I'm curious how you're going to start adjusting stuff with these new walls, because clearly you sort of just slap them on the outside, and that's fine for now. But, yeah, that'll be fun to see. Maybe buttress walls, maybe some funneling walls. Perhaps, out here on the right side, some funneling walls could be effective. We'll see, we'll see. Good luck. Good job, Wipeout. On to our next base. Alright, here we are with Marks the Legend. Another Town Hall 8 base. Let's see. So it looks like your defenses, on a whole basis, look like they're generally about equal to what we've seen. Your mortars are a bit better than we've seen mostly. Let's see where those wizard towers. People have been having trouble with wizard towers in this video. 3, 2, and 3. Basically all these could be higher, as I'll show you in a minute. But you know what, I do like what you do here with spreading out your storages. So by having storages in different compartments, it does protect them. What it does mean, as I sort of talked about earlier, is it's easier to pick off 1 or 2 of them, but to take out all of them is harder. One thing I'm not sure you definitely need is you've got 3 level 11 gold storages. That's a total of 6 million gold. You just don't have anything that needs 6 million gold in one blow right now, so you could probably hold off on getting that second gold storage if, like, someone's maybe a Town Hall 7 and thinking about, or just getting it to 8 and thinking about, oh, should I add my 3rd gold storage? I'd say probably not. In terms of Teslas, it's pretty obvious where they are. You got 1 right here south of the Town Hall, and then 2 more right here, most likely. Defenses, the rest of the defenses, they could be higher level as well. So these cannons, level 8, you could get up to level 9, or level 10. The level 10 is the maximum for Town Hall 8. And these archer towers, they could be up to 10 as well, I believe. Air defenses, good placement, fairly centralized without sort of pushing other things out. I do like that the Clan Castle's on the inside for sure. Don't like the fact that there are giants in here as much, but these archers and barbarians will definitely do a good job defending. You can see from the radius of this guy, they'll be able to help out in any direction. Archers especially, by having a centralized Clan Castle, will be very effective, because they'll be able to hop over the walls, but then not go out over the exterior walls, and be able to shoot over and attack anything that's coming in. This is probably my favorite base in terms of layout so far. It's been interesting that pretty much everyone here has been having Town Halls centralized inside the walls. This is probably my favorite base for protecting that. It's also fairly symmetrical, and does a pretty good job of evenly protecting all sides, so it's not like you have one noticeably weak side. The only thing I will say is by having your Town Hall inside the walls, your Clan Castle in the middle, and a Tesla, or a Wizard Tower, and then Teslas, is that you don't have any long-range things in the middle. Clan Castle guys will come out, they're long-range, I guess, but you don't have any mortars in the center, so I feel like maybe this Wizard Tower should be a mortar instead, because you have not quite as bad as what I was talking about before with our first base, but you don't have a ton of combat stuff in the center. The Teslas and the Wizards are just range is a little too short. Now, for our final base, I have a pretty special base. You know what that is? That's my base. That's right, we're heading back to Derpy. Actually, this is Derp, to look at my base because I'm also a Town Hall 8. Okay, so let's review. Basically, I'm equal to these guys in terms of Town Hall level. So, how am I doing? Well, let's see. I've got 3 level 10 cannons, which is more than anyone had. I've got 3 level 6 mortars, which I don't think we even saw one level 5 mortar, so I'm definitely winning on that. I've got 2 level 6 wizard towers, which I think we saw 1 level 5 wizard tower, but definitely no 6s. Also, my other wizard tower level 5 is nearly done with level 6 as well. Level 6 wizard is an 8-day construction. It is very slow. I'm going to send this worker off to kill this while we're here. Teslas, you can see mine are fairly spread out. They're also fairly low level. I don't focus on Teslas at all. I do have a level 2 Barbarian King. We didn't see actually that many Barbarian Kings, so interesting on that one as well. In terms of my current layout on resources, so I'm currently focusing on protecting my elixir. You might be able to tell that's because I've got 1.8 million elixir, which is why I have one centralized and the other in my what I consider protected position. Also, I'm even also focusing on dark elixir, and that's because I've got 9,700 of it. Well, the tree text is currently blocking it, but as soon as it disappears, there you go. It's also over here on the right. I've currently got nearly 10,000 Dark Elixir. I need 15,000 to upgrade the Barbarian King, so I'm still a little ways off, but I'm protecting it pretty heavily because I think a lot of people would like to get in there and steal it, and I want to prevent that. Alright, walls and upgrading strategy for that. So I am very eclectic in my upgrading. You can see I've got a couple last level 5 walls, and then I've also got level 8 walls, which is the maximum. I can't upgrade these until I'm Town Hall 9, as you can tell from right down here. What is up with this strategy? So these walls are very heavily focused on where I think people will attack. So probably the most unusual is these level 8 walls, which are out here in the funnels. I call them funnels because they're the gaps in the walls which I allow guys to walk through. These entire exterior walls, the whole point of them is to focus guys and cause them to walk around and come walk in towards the center at one of these army camp positions. Why are these level 8 walls out here? Well, they'll never get attacked by normal units, but if anyone ever places wall breakers out here, they're going to go for these level 8 walls, and it's going to take a lot of them to kill them. And that's the point of that. Now, I also focus pretty heavily on upgrading these walls in here, as well as level 8 walls right in front of my funnels. So that's if you place giants right down here. Well, they'll go for these units, and they'll go for out here. But they also can go for here if you place down more units later, such as barbarians. After all these buildings out here are dead, the barbarians would go for right in here, these walls. Let's talk about traps for a minute. So I do have a lot of funneling traps, although it looks like I need to replace some of them. That's a good thing to notice. I keep all 6 of my spring traps on the inside, so I'll show you how I do it. I also have a couple bombs because I don't have more gaps than I do for spring traps. But spring traps are definitely the best, and bombs are secondary only. Let's place the bombs down though as well because they were missing from a recent attack. One there, and one here, and then we're good. So, what do these bombs do? Oh, I also have level 4 walls. I forgot about these ones. So I said my lowest one was 5, actually it's 4. So these 2 walls right here force guys to walk onto this spring trap. So this is great for killing everything, but especially focused for killing giants. Now, the only thing I'm going to mention beyond that about these traps on the inside is I don't have any giant bombs. And I couldn't tell if anyone did have giant bombs, but if you're going to use them, here's how I would. If you had a bunch of storages in the middle, I would put giant bombs in between them. What that does is if you have a mass goblin that break in, they'll kill, say, 3 storages on this side, and then they'll run to kill 3 more on this side, but there'll be giant bombs in the middle. One giant bomb will take out all of those mass goblins. That is pretty much what I consider the only valid use for giant bombs at sort of normal levels, just because the amount of gold they cost, 50,000, I think is too much for them to be used in other ways, such as spread out outside the walls. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the defenses before I wrap this up. So I do have a couple level 8 archer towers. I don't think we saw a single one level 8 archer tower. I'm also upgrading this one to 9 as we're going. I focus on the cannons because the cannons have better damage per second, as well as higher rate of fire at this level, and rate of fire is actually more important when you're attacking infantry. and the higher damage per second is more important when you're fighting giants. So that's why I focused on upgrading the cannons first. Alright, is there anything else left to talk about my base? I guess the biggest part that I've sort of neglected until now is the fact that my town hall is outside the walls. Now, we didn't see this on any other guys, and that's actually pretty significant. By having my town hall outside the walls, it means that I get lots and lots and lots of free shields. Now, what do I mean by free shields? Free shields are when someone attacks, takes out my town hall, and then stops stack, and they surrender right there. I mean, I guess technically they get the win, and I lose trophies, but taking out the town hall gives me a 12-hour shield, and that's what I'm looking for. Free shields right there, as I talked about, are the best way to protect your base and your resources especially. By getting free shields, you prevent other stronger people from even searching you because you'll already have a shield. Now, I'll load up some recent attacks and we can look at the score. How many people have taken me on? Well, this one is someone just dropping trophies. This guy up here is just giving me a free shield. This guy's going more heavily. This guy's going really heavily. This one down here, free shield, free shield, free shield. Going more heavily, free shield, free shield, free shield, free shield, free shield. Okay, you get the point. Look at all these free shields. They take out 1,000 resources each time, but for the last 8 days, how many real attacks have I had? I think there's about 3 of them. 1, 2. Looks like they tried there, but it looks like they failed. So I guess you'd sort of count that as 3. To wrap this up, I am going to load up this recent attack. They did a bunch of damage to my base, so you can see how they did it. Now, their army, they had 107 archers. That's a ton. Both level 1 Barbarian King and level 1 Archer Queen. So that means, because they have the Archer Queen, they are a Town Hall 9. A good chunk of Barbarians. Level 6 also. That's interesting. And Wall Breakers, level 7. I'm curious how they're going to use their Wall Breakers. And a couple of Goblins. And probably, most interestingly, 4 lightning spells. Let's go ahead and load this attack up and see how my base, which I've just described, has done against this Town Hall 9 attack. So I should have Clan Castle guys to help out as well, starting with 1 archer on the right. I don't see anything else yet. Really? Nothing else? Looks like they're going to use their full amount of time. Okay, so 1 lightning spell on the mortar. Might have been 2. I only saw 1, though. 1 bottle drop for sure. I took out the mortar. Okay, another one on this mortar. So it looks like level 4 or whatever lightnings can take out level 6 mortars. I didn't actually know that because no one else has actually tried that before now. Okay, Clan Castle guys coming out. Archer Queen. Defenses are firing. Clan Castle guys looks like mostly archers to start with. Barbarian King, mine, is not entering the fight yet. It's too far away. My Clan Castle guys, if there was this mortar still alive, imagine how much damage it would be doing to these grouped up and distracted Clan Castle guys. We got some level 5 wall breakers coming in. Notice that they actually take 2 hits to destroy these walls. And now they're deploying more, but look at they're wasting their cells away on these extra walls outside. Just as I hoped they would. Coming in, Barbarian King is coming out. But there's a lot of archers firing at him, as well as the Barbarian Queen, so he dies pretty fast. To basically deal with all these archers, we're going to need splash damage. This mortar over here is our only remaining splash damage. Archer Queen coming in. That's some nice damage out of her. I don't think I've ever seen one attack my base, at least recently. She's about to die, though, sadly for her. Group of archers is still working their way around, so we're going to see more archers still. I know that. Notice they have a minute and a half left, half of their time, and they still haven't deployed the majority of their army. They're going to have a lot more barbarians, a lot more archers, and some goblins. Only about 30, but we'll see them coming soon. Okay, so archers broke into the run on the right. Wizard's going to one hit these level 6 archers. Looks like these guys are out of range though, so that's lucky for them. Mortar on the left is finally firing. I haven't seen any more lightning spells used, so I'm thinking he might have had to double lightning all those other mortars. Quite possible. Groups of barbarians coming in, groups of archers, and nope, there's our first goblins coming in as well. There's a bomb, it's going to hit that group. Springtrap only got 2 goblins. Like I said, they're mainly focused on getting giants. Oop, good hit with splash over here. The wizard is really going to start helping out. But I think they're going to get into the other storage as well, sadly. Took him out with the mortar and the wizard and the bomb in combination right over there. Coming on the left side, trying to get into this last storage. That reminds me of something else I forgot to talk about before. Let's see if they can get in and get this last storage, and sort of what they're trying to do in the last 10 seconds. Don't think they're going to be able to do it, but you know what? They got a couple archers. 2 archers are firing at it. Well, now 1. And that's it. So they had a couple more. They ran out of time basically at the end. Or they just surrendered because they knew they weren't going to do any more damage. But there's my base holding out against a Town Hall 9. Still got pretty destroyed, and that's, as you saw, was like the biggest battle I've been in for a long time. So, let me talk about one last thing. One factor that was pretty important in a lot of these bases I talked about was the number of storages. So, in my base, I've got 2 of each. We saw a lot of bases today that had 3 of each. So, by only having 2 of each, it means I have a lot more options in how well I can protect them. If I had 3 of each, I would have to spread them out even farther, and it'd be even easier to take them all out. However, one thing is, if you do have so many of them, they can't steal more resources from you just because you have more storages. So it's not that. The problem is, you can't protect them as well because there's simply more buildings you're trying to protect with the same number of defenses. Overall, though, I think that was a pretty good defense. He had some nicely upgraded stuff, and he certainly spent a lot of spells to try to destroy my stuff. But I hope you guys found this base review informative, and I hope you enjoyed this little base review of my own at the end, and sort of how it compares to some of these other Town Hall 8s out there. To wrap this episode up, I'll let you guys know how you can apply to have your base reviewed in the future. So there's a link in the description of this video, as well as on my channel at all times. It says apply for base review. Well, on my channel. In my description it just says click here, and there's a big long ugly link. You can click on that and fill out some brief questions about what Town Hall level you are, and how I can find your base by the clan and stuff. Try to fill it out as thoroughly as possible. One thing I will say is I do get a ton of these applications. Currently I've got about 1,300 I've been unable to fulfill yet, because every time I submit one of these videos I get a couple hundred more. So I am sorry if you have submitted one and I've skipped over you. Please do the following though. You can, 1, you can resubmit an application, but it's still a low chance. 2, if you leave your clan or switch clans or your information is out of dated, you can submit a new one. 3, if you want advice, here's what you should do. You should take a picture of your base, upload it to imageur.com. I'll link that in the description as well. And you can come on to the IRC clan chat. Now there's a link to that in my description as well. It says chat with me. Just click on that and ask someone nicely for a base review, and paste your link to the picture of your base. Alternatively, you can also post that picture to Reddit and ask for a base review on there as well. Beyond that, guys, thank you very much for watching this. There's how you can apply for a base review of your own. Notice I did not say you cannot apply in the comments section. I will not be reviewing bases in the comments. Now, to wrap this up, thank you guys very much for watching, and as always, have a great day.